Welcome back to the channel, friends. Today I want to give you an update on Revolut because they came out with some amazing new updates to the product offering, as well some news around the platform because they've been really expanding, got some new licenses. And I think if you are a Revolut user, that might be really interesting for you. And if you aren't yet, it might actually convince you to consider Revolut. Again, I don't have any affiliation with them. This is not a sponsored video. I don't even have an affiliate link with them. Sadly, I made a lot of content around them. Hopefully they reach out. If you watch it, I'm happy to work with you guys. But be it as it may, I think it's an amazing app and platform. And stay until the end because I'm going to share with you an amazing feature that they added now on the paid plans, which if you are or considering to jump on one of the paid plans, honestly, it's a real game changer. And that feature alone definitely pays for the plan itself. Now let's kick things off with some of the biggest news that they finally received, the UK banking license. I think they chased it for many years until they finally got it. It's already a few months ago, but I think that's really huge for Revolut and in their goal of global expansion, which they are, and we'll come to this in a moment, because previously they only had the banking license based in Lithuania, like many other fintech providers. But of course, the UK adds a lot of trust and they have a big UK user base. So for them, there will be so many more benefits now that they got the official banking license. Now to keep in mind, there's still some restrictions in place, so it's not fully 100% granted. There's still kind of a grace period and a couple of things that need to do, but eventually that should be given. Very interesting to also look at the customer deposits and see really how Revolut started quite behind. They were trailing Starling and Monzo, but over the years really increased their share in the UK. And I think now that they have the banking license, actually will continue to grow and outperform some of those competitors because honestly, the app is just so good, right? I mean, I absolutely love the experience. And I think that's the biggest reason why they keep on getting more and more users. And here we also have a cool graphic of how fast Revolut grew in terms of downloads, outperforming all those other big apps. You can see over here, obviously that's some historic numbers since 2023. But yeah, I mean, unbelievable. Even Klarna, the second biggest Wise, right? Which is such a big app. They are not even close to competing with Revolut. You see 24 million downloads in 2023 alone. So really mind-boggling numbers over there. Now, the second update has been the financial year of 2023. Now, I know it may not be so interesting for some of you, but actually, in my eyes, it's really important that a company is profitable long-term because sometimes we've seen companies with these lofty valuations, but actually they don't turn a profit. And it's good to see that they finally made a really nice profit of 545 million last year, right? We obviously get those numbers always delayed. So now in 2024, we see the full financial figures for 2023 and they have been really profitable. And that's really reassuring to see because you want to keep your funds with a bank or broker that is long-term financially profitable and sustainable, because otherwise eventually they might run into real problems, financial problems, and have to close down the app. So here we see really good financial track record and performance, and I'm sure they will only continue to grow and increase going forward. And that's one of the reasons why their valuation is really going through the roof right now, already valued at $45 billion. I mean, it's absolutely mind-boggling. They're not even stock listed yet. If they ever were to be stock listed, I think that number would go even way higher. So yeah, 45 billion is really incredible. And that alone actually makes Revolut the most precious and valuable private tech company in Europe, which is quite mind-boggling to think about. And that market capitalization actually makes Revolut more valuable than some of the traditional banks in the UK, like Barclays, Lloyds Bank, NatWest. Only HSBC has a higher valuation. So really kudos to them for putting it where it is today. That's their CEO over here, whom, by the way, I actually met yesterday in the gym while working out in Dubai. So it was a real coincidence. I said hi, we had a little chat, and I said, hopefully you'll be able to bring Revolut very soon to the UAE. And talking about expansion plans, it looks like Revolut will start their services and offering in India in 2025. So I know I have some Indian viewers as well. So you'll be very delighted to see that it looks like they're really going to be rolling it out. And honestly, I think imagine how big India is. If they get a fraction of the customers over there, that'd be absolutely huge to their user base, right? I think the fact that the app is so simple, I think a lot of Indians will love that, right? Low fees, sending money internationally, especially now being in Dubai here. A lot of Indians working here, sending money back home. Having a tool, an app like this, where you can send literally free of charge to other Revolut users will be absolutely huge. So I think that will be a major milestone and revenue addition to Revolut, which once again is good for all of us. If they're profitable and grow, we will all benefit in the process. But not only that, they're now really actively looking to expand in the Middle East, which I'm really happy about. As I mentioned, I even said to the CEO myself, it would be really cool to see you guys over here. But yeah, the Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund, Mubadala, now made a first initial investment. They're huge, right? It's a massive, massive fund. They invest a lot of things, but obviously they do so to get a return. So if they're investing now at such a valuation, they see the number potentially being even higher. Otherwise, why would they invest, right? So that's really reassuring to see. And according to Bloomberg, it also looks like that they applied for a license with the central bank of the UAE to start operating out of the UAE. So most likely, once the license is being granted, they will have a base here and it can start operating, well, in the UAE, and then most likely also beyond in the region, which once again would be huge for them, for their growth, more customer numbers, more revenues, more profits. So I think it's a real good step in the right direction. As I said, the UAE alone is such a big market. I mean, I've been living over here. I meet a lot of people, Indians, Pakistanis, Filipinos, that work really, really hard, but I often feel very sorry for them because they send a lot of their money that they earn here back home to their families, which, is really great of them to do. But the fact is that there's a few players out there like Western Union and others who do that transfer, but they take a huge chunk, sometimes up to 10%, which is absolutely mind-boggling. So instead, if they would have Revolut, for example, to send it free of charge to their friends and family back home, I think it would be a real game changer. Now, another cool news is that Revolut started partnering with Upvest, which apparently is a fintech company from Berlin, Germany. And here they work together in order to improve Revolut's ETF offering, as well as have more fractional European stocks. So basically by using Upvest, Revolut will have a better stock and ETF offering for the users. Now, full disclosure, I haven't used Revolut for investing for a while, and I actually actively advised against doing so in the past because they have made some unfavorable changes. And from what I see online, quite a few people complain that it seems Revolut in busy times seems to switch off trading functionality. You can see over here that there is operations that can't be fulfilled and so forth. That's a bit worrying. When I look at it, you can see over here quite a few people talking about that. But maybe I could do a whole separate video about using Revolut as a stockbroker. If you're interested, let me know in the comments down below. And if there's a few of you, I'll be happy to make such a video. Also, they seem to be focusing more and more on their Revolut terminal, which is quite interesting. So small merchants, shop owners, coffee shop owners, what have you, they can basically sign up to the Revolut terminal. They get these little devices. You can even do it through the phone directly. So other users just tap you and they start receiving payments. You can also just order a little device that you can put in your shop and people can pay you with that. So that's becoming more and more popular. And a lot of people use that like a POS device, point of sales, basically. And once again, I think that's very attractive and yet another avenue for them to make more revenue. I haven't used it myself, but I think for a lot of people, that might be a real attractive way. I think once you're almost in the Revolut ecosystem, it only makes sense to go with them and stick with them rather than having yet another provider for different things. So I think it's a very smart move by them. Another cool news for all German users, they now have German IBAN numbers because previously the IBAN used to be based out of Lithuania. It started with LT for Lithuania. Well, I used to live in Lithuania and I still do in summers. So for me, it was no difference. But for people living in Germany and elsewhere, they might have been confused why my IBAN starts with LT, right? It's quite weird in a way. So now we have actually German IBANs starting with, I believe, DE. So that's really attractive. It still doesn't mean that they are protected by German bank. It still falls under the Lithuanian banking system and license, but it's still a nice way in the right direction. And hopefully, they'll be eventually roll out more countries to have their local IBANs, because this way you can now receive your salary in Germany in your Revolut account right away. It doesn't have to go to one of those traditional banks like Sparkasse or what have you, and then you have to transfer it. You can literally tell your employer right away to deposit your money into your Revolut account, which is pretty cool if you use it a lot. Right, and with this, we come to arguably one of the most exciting features that Revolut just dropped, and that's the addition to their plans. As you might know, Revolut has different plans. They have a free plan, of course, which has really limited features and functionalities. Then they have a plus plan, and then I would consider the main plans Premium, Metal, and Ultra. I'm myself on the Ultra plan, not the most expensive one, but for some, it may be too expensive if you don't use it much. So I think most commonly people use either Premium or Metal. I think you get a lot of value out of those two. And well, just a few days ago, I got this email informing me of something amazing that they've added as their new partner. And these are two new additions, which I'm really excited about. One is Wolt Plus, which, it's a delivery company, similar like Deliveroo and some others. They may not be available yet in every country, but in Lithuania, I believe in Germany, UK, they are, and really, really cool. So having that, you basically get free delivery, faster delivery, and some discounts. So really, really cool. I used to pay for it myself, actually. And even more excitingly, they have now Perplexity Pro. I recently made a video about Perplexity Pro and why I'm paying for it myself. It's basically a competitor in a way to ChatGPT or Claude, and it's really, really cool, especially for AI-generated search results. The cool thing is with Perplexity AI, you can also tap into ChatGPT and actually use ChatGPT 4.0 to get the latest and greatest, responses from ChatGPT, basically free of charge, because now it's going to be included in your subscription. And that's in addition to what you already got with them, right? Financial Times, which I use a lot, NordVPN. So some really cool subscriptions are now getting even better. And best of all, it seems it's not only on the Ultra plan. I got it because I'm on the Ultra plan. But when I did some digging, and some people already wrote me that they also got it on the premium plan and metal plan. Now look at this. I'm already paying now $20 every single month for Perplexity Pro. I also paid for ChatGPT. I just love paying for subscription that actually offer me value, so I'm totally fine with this. But now, basically, I'm going to cancel that plan and use it through my Revolut subscription. It's actually very simple how you can get it. They walk you through on the website or on the app how to do it. So really simple, and you get access to it. And look at it. Even if you sign up to either premium or metal, just by getting Perplexity Pro, which I really think is worth paying the $20, well, now you actually get it cheaper than the $20, plus all the other benefits that come with the respective plan. So I think it's a real no-brainer now. I really recommend using Perplexity Pro because, as I said over here, you can use different AI models, right? I can choose from Claude 3.5 Sonnet, which I use mostly, but I could also use ChatGPT 4.0, right? So you have different options to choose from, even Grok from X. Really interesting. So you can play around which one you like the most, but I really believe it's worth paying for it. And now having it added for free to your paid plan, I really think it's a no-brainer. I'm still going to be on the Ultra plan because I get a lot of other benefits. But yeah, honestly, if you're just starting off, I think going with premium metal really makes sense. And one cool website that I discovered is called revolutplans.com. So here you can basically pick where you live, the currency, and the amount that you have. And you can see the different interest rates you'll be getting based on the different plans, and obviously how much that would equate to over a longer period. And you can basically play around and see which plan would make more value for you, because obviously you get also higher interest rate on a higher plan. I do believe those are updated automatically from the website if you have different interest rates in your different country, because sometimes Revolut does have slight deviations in different countries for the rates and offerings. So you can just plug it in here and see the additional value you'll be getting out of it and factor that in when making a decision which plan to go with. As you saw, some exciting news around Revolut. I really think they're onto something. They've been really doing well. I use them myself for a number of years. I'll continue to use them, even though I'm still not working with them. I hope we can change it one day. But be it as it may, as you know, I'm really transparent. I talk about the things I use myself, and I really love the app. The experience has been really, really good. I never had any issues with them whatsoever, and I can't say that about every app I use. So I'm really happy with them, and seeing them evolving, adding more benefits, and making the app experience better and better. I really love to see that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. It helps it to be seen by more people. Next up, check out this video over here. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Stay healthy, get wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.